Welcome to Max Q Barbecue, my Cybertruck journey. In this video, I'm going to take you along on my thrilling 3,500 mile road trip across the United States in my Cybertruck. We will break down the real cost of charging at Tesla's Superchargers, comparing them to conventional gas vehicle expenses. Plus, I'll share some fascinating insights and experiences from the trip that you won't want to miss. Buckle up and join me on this electrifying adventure. Overview of the trip. When I embarked on this journey, my Cybertruck had clocked just over 2,800 miles since I had got it in August. Planning a cross-country trip that would more than double the mileage was both stressful and intimidating. The trip was going to rely on superchargers and meticulous route planning. While I had watched several EV road trip videos, none fully prepared me for the invaluable lessons I was about to learn. If you're planning a Cybertruck or EV road trip, stick around to gain insights from my 3,500 mile cross-country journey and check out my lessons learned video on this topic. This winter holiday trip took the Max Q Barbecue Cybertruck from Baltimore, Maryland to St. Louis, Missouri, down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then back up to Baltimore. The trip occurred over a 2-week winter holiday break with 5 10 to 15 hour driving days. The trip was planned around family gatherings and holiday events. Careful planning was needed to make sure I stayed on schedule. Cost breakdown reveal. As we delve into this journey, one crucial aspect that many EV enthusiasts like myself are curious about is the cost of long-distance travel in a Cybertruck. How does it compare to traditional gasoline vehicles? Join me as I break down the expenses of charging at Tesla's Supercharger network throughout my 3,500 mile trip and see how it stacks up against the cost of fueling a conventional car. Let's dive into the cost comparison and uncover some surprising findings. During the 2-week trip, I made 27 Supercharger stops. 8 of those stops were at Tesla V2 Superchargers, which are 150 kilowatt supercharger stations. 19 of those 27 stops were at V3 250 kilowatt supercharger stations, and there was one overnight home charging session in St. Louis. The average cost per kilowatt hour was 36 cents for the entire trip, with the V2 stations averaging slightly lower cost per kilowatt at 34 cents per kilowatt hour, while the V3 stations averaged slightly higher cost per kilowatt at 37 cents per kilowatt hour. The most noticeable difference about taking the Cybertruck on a long trip was the amount of time needed to charge the truck. Charging time significantly added to the duration of the trip, increasing the time to destination. EV versus gas vehicles. Let's dive into the real numbers and compare the cost of charging my Cybertruck at Tesla Superchargers to the cost of fuel expenses for a similar trip in an internal combustion ICE vehicle. For this comparison, I used my mid-size Toyota Tacoma, which gets about 20 miles per gallon around town and 25 miles per gallon on the highway. The gas prices varied from lows in the south at $2.57 per gallon to highs on the East Coast around $3.09 per gallon. Let's take a look at the numbers for gas prices and fuel cost. For a trip of 3,427 miles at 20 miles per gallon, the total fuel cost ranged from $440.37 to $529.47, depending upon the gas price, as you can see in the displayed table. At 25 miles per gallon, the fuel cost ranged from $352.30 to $423.58. Now let's compare that with the supercharger cost for the energy that I put into the Cybertruck to make that same trip. The total cost of charging my Cybertruck for the 3,427-mile trip came to $565.26. Even with the price variation and fuel efficiency differences, the Supercharger energy cost exceeded those for the ICE vehicle comparisons. However, it's important to note that the economics of EV travel flip when charging is done at home with lower residential electricity rates. Navigating the Tesla Supercharger network. Let's dive into one of the key components of my Cybertruck road trip, the Tesla Supercharger network. One of the standout features of Tesla's Supercharger network is its reliability. You can typically complete your entire journey using only the Tesla Superchargers thanks to their extensive coverage and dependable service. The Tesla Route Planner plays a crucial role in this experience as it provides accurate information about each selected supercharger, including the number of available stalls, the version, and charging power level, and any out-of-service stalls. This level of detail ensures you're always informed about the charging options. As you can see in the display picture that I've taken, when you select a Tesla Supercharger station, it provides you all of this information. During my trip, I encountered few broken or poorly performing stalls. However, I could easily switch to another stall to get better charging performance, showcasing the network's flexibility and robustness. In retrospect, I think it was only at 3 out of the 27 charging stops at Superchargers where I had to switch stalls to a more robust or functioning Supercharger stall. When I first set out on the road trip, venturing into unfamiliar areas, I made sure to add an extra energy buffer to my charges for peace of mind. Additionally, I purchased a CCS1 to J3400 charging adapter as a backup, just in case I needed to charge at a non-Tesla station. But to my surprise, I didn't have to stop at any of those alternative stops. All of the Tesla Superchargers were functioning and providing power. And after using the Supercharger network, my confidence in its reliability grew significantly over my initial expectations. Eventually, I stopped looking for non-Tesla stations as backup sites and trusted the Supercharger network to get me where I needed to go. Variables impacting the cost. In this segment, we dive into the variables that can significantly impact the cost of charging at Tesla Superchargers. First, it's important to note that Tesla Superchargers provide lower prices to Tesla vehicles within the network. However, out-of-network vehicles can also use the Superchargers, but at a premium price. Another factor that affects charging cost is time of day. Supercharger rates are based on demand, with higher prices during peak hours and lower rates during off-peak times. Additionally, Tesla assesses fees for idle time. So if your vehicle occupies a charging stall after it's fully charged while others are waiting, you'll incur extra charges. Unfortunately, when you're on a long road trip, you don't have a choice about what time you're going to pull into the charging station because you're trying to complete your road trip. So you just have to know in advance that you may have to pay more during peak periods than you would pay if you were able to choose a charging time at off-peak times. Aerodynamic efficiency is another factor that could affect your miles per gallon, so to speak, or in this case, miles per kilowatt hour. And during the trip, I had not received my aero wheel covers from Tesla, which may have led to some lower energy efficiency. But since completing the journey, I received a set of EV-based wheel covers, which could potentially increase my energy efficiency, providing higher miles per kilowatt. Take a look at the next segment as I show off the new EV-based wheel covers that I've added to my Cybertruck. Unfortunately, I can't make a comparison of the new wheel covers to the old without the wheel covers wheels to check the efficiency that was gained. But maybe in a future video we'll be able to do that. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this journey, let's recap some key talking points. Taking a Cybertruck on a road trip does come with higher energy cost and time penalties compared with traditional ICE vehicles. However, these higher costs are offset by several key benefits. The ride quality and comfort of the Cybertruck are unmatched, making the long drives more enjoyable. One of the standout features of the Tesla Cybertruck is its advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS, which with features like full self-driving and traffic-aware cruise control, and the recently released lane centering. These features make driving less stressful and more enjoyable. These advanced features not only enhance safety, but add a layer of convenience that traditional vehicles can't match. So while there may be some additional cost associated with long-distance EV travel, the benefits in terms of ride comfort, advanced technology, and overall driving experience make it worthy of consideration for any long trip. Another factor that wasn't taken into consideration was the fact that the Cybertruck is a full-sized pickup truck and my comparison vehicle was a mid-sized pickup truck. As you would say, any ICE or gasoline pickup truck that's full-size would be a gas guzzler. It might not be fair to compare a mid-sized pickup truck to a full-size pickup truck when comparing gas efficiency. So it is possible that if I were doing a comparison with a Chevrolet Silverado or a Ford Lightning pickup truck, the gas cost might be more in line with the Supercharger cost. But overall, at least on this initial trip of 3,500 or almost 3,500 miles, the cost of electricity and energy for the trip was slightly higher by a few bucks, as you can see in the previous table. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'd like to invite everyone to share your experiences that you've had with your long road trips in the Cybertruck, and be sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you're not a Tesla owner and you're in the market for buying a new Tesla, be sure to use our Tesla referral code to get a discount on your new Tesla. It's a great way to join the electric revolution and save money too. Also, check out our EV Base affiliate links in the description below for the best accessories and embellishments to make your Cybertruck even better. In the next clip, I'll even show you some pictures of some covers that I put on my tow hooks just to get a little flair to the look of the Cybertruck and to make it a little more distinguishable from other ones in the parking lot. Well, until next time, happy driving and safe travels. See you soon.